Hey guys, welcome back to Topisphere, and today we're continuing our Pokemon tier list, this time with Gen 4. So there's been a bit of a hiatus between Gen 3 and Gen 4, but that's just cause the past couple of videos took quite a bit of time to edit. So either way, we're back again today. I intend to do Gen 5 next, obviously, but I'm gonna try to get it out like in the next week or so. So yeah. Gen 4 is quite a memorable generation for me. It was my first DS game, Pokemon Pearl. I did not play Diamond or Platinum, but I mean, I've played a lot of Platinum ROM hacks, but not Platinum itself. And I did play the remake, the Pearl remake. So yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty cool generation. I like a lot of the Pokemon in this generation. I think this generation has one of the most amount of Pokemon that I would call my favorite, but also has quite a number that I just greatly dislike as well. So yeah, with that, let's get into it with the first tier, Piplup tier. Piplup tier obviously has Piplup and his friends there, but the whole point of this tier even being there in the first place is because of my girlfriend. She loves Piplup. She thinks it's like the cutest Pokemon in the entire world. Her favorites like Piplup and Oshawott. So there might be an Oshawott tier next, who knows? But Piplup is definitely a favorite Pokemon. Out of respect for her, I'll give it Piplup tier because if I don't, yeah, I'm not gonna face the consequences of that. I personally haven't used Piplup too much because, frankly, I just don't really like it. I mean, it's like Water Steel as Empoleon. Um, not too big a fan. I've used the other two starters though. I mean, I can say this for sure that the other two starters are going to S tier because my original playthrough of Pearl, I beat it with Torterra, and in my remake, because I was just trying to blitz through the game, I used Infernape. Yeah, I basically went with one of the strongest parties you could get and just blitz through the entire game, except the Cynthia fight. Yeah, that was fun. But either way, um, the rest of the starters get S because I've used them quite extensively. Even nowadays, like Torterra is still insane to me. There's so many sets you can use on there. I've tried like Assault Vest Torterra or even like Life Orb Torterra. It's insane. It's bulky, it's tanky, but it's strong. And Infernape, I think needs no introduction. It's one of the most iconic fire types of all time. Very, very powerful. I love both of them very, very much. So yeah. Moving on, we have the Staraptor evolution line. Starly and Staraptor definitely get S tier, but honestly, Staravia, even though you use it for like a third of the game or something, it gets A tier, which I just realized there's no A tier, so we're just gonna quickly add that, but it's gonna get A tier. Yep. I really don't have anything to say about Staraptor, I mean Staravia, because Staravia is just like a middle evolution. You don't really get, you know, this evolution line specifically for Staravia. You get it for Starly. Starly is iconic because it's in the first route, right? And then you just try to get through Staravia just so you can get Staraptor. The only thing going for it is probably that it has Intimidate. Then again, Staraptor is like iconic because it has like close combat, Intimidate, the whole set. And it looks cool. So yeah, I mean, yep, I think it's fair. Staraptor gets S. Staravia, middle evolution. I don't hate it. That's why it's still in A. But it's just not S tier. Yeah. And now, of course, we have the very special tier called God tier, specifically for Bidoof. Maybe we'll put Arceus there later, but we'll see. Bidoof, definitely the god of Pokemon. I think it needs no explanation. It goes to God tier. B-Barrel, not quite a god, but it's evolved from it evolves from Bidoof. So I don't know. Maybe it goes in God tier, but to not disrespect the god, I'll put it in Mount Rushmore. Yeah, that's the highest I can go. So one of the 4 Mount Rushmore Pokemon is gonna be B-Barrel because it can't compare to the god that is Bidoof. Now we have a Kricketot and Kricketune. Kricketot's going C. I really don't like his design. Kricketune going A though, because Kricketune, I don't know. To me, it looks like some classical composer trying to do some conducting. I don't know. That was the first thing I thought of when I was a kid. It looks pretty cool. I used it quite a bit. I remember when I was a child, I liked it quite a bit. I brought it to the Elite Four, if I'm not wrong. You know, my like multiple playthroughs, it did make it there. So yeah, I think A is fair. Even though nowadays, generally don't like it and I hate the sound it makes. But for nostalgia's sake, it goes in A. Now we have Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. Yet again, Luxio, I'm just gonna put them in A tier. It's again another middling evolution. You do not pick or you do not catch Luxio because Shinx because you like Luxio. you catch Shinx because you want it to become Luxury. And Luxury, pretty strong. It has Intimidate in its guts. Shinx also iconic, caught in one of the first few routes. Love them both. What more needs to be said? It's like one of the most iconic electric type, like base Pokemon, I guess you can say, from the starter routes. Very cool. I used it in the remake. I just brought a Luxury straight up the Elite Four. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Very nice. Next we have Badu. Frankly, not much of an opinion, but I'll put it in B tier just because when you get it, you kind of get the adrenaline rush that you're gonna get Roselia, which will evolve into Roserade. Roserade's getting A. I love Roserade. Actually, Roserade's getting S. Roserade is one of my favorite Pokemon, design wise, and the first time I saw it, they evolved from Roselia. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. So I mean, I think I still keep that opinion till today. So for that, I guess I have to put it in S. But Badu, I mean, not too big a fan of design, but because it evolves into the Great Roserade, I'll give it some respect and put it in B. Now we have these four Pokemon, which are all going in S tier, which is going to be Cranidos, Rampardos, Sheldon, and Bastiodon, right? I loved Cranidos the first time I saw it. I love dinosaurs, and Cranidos and Rampardos just like they embody what a real dinosaur should be. But the most depressing part for me was because I got Pearl, I got Bastiodon instead of Rampardos. I really wanted Rampardos, but in the end I got the Triceratops looking guy over the, raptor looking guy. I mean, it's not really a raptor. It looks like, I can't exactly remember the name of the dinosaur now, but it looks like a very cool dinosaur. I really wanted it. I really, really wanted it, but I couldn't use it. I only used it in ROM hacks eventually because I still don't own a copy of Diamond, unironically. But yeah, I love fossil Pokemon, and these two, if I'm not wrong, if I think about it, I think these two are like creme de la creme, the top fossil Pokemon that I could choose, even within the new generation, like Dracovish, I guess, but it can't compare to these four. I think these four are the most iconic fossil Pokemon to me, apart from maybe like Aerodactyl and like the first few generations. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Rampardos is my favorite fossil Pokemon of all time. So it goes to S. I'll consider putting a Mount Rushmore, but let's finish the tier list and then we'll see what else goes up there. I'll say the next few ones are going straight D tier. I'm sorry, I dislike Burmy and Wormadam. I really dislike how they look like, and I also dislike Morthim. Like, I think all of them are just filler decks. They look horrific. Morthim is just a worse Butterfree design in my opinion, and the Burmy and Wormadam, I don't even know what they're trying to do with it. I really don't like them. All D tier. There's no contest. Next, we have Combi and Vespiquen, which are both going. Combi's going A, Vespiqueen is going S. Okay, actually, never mind. I'll put both of them as. I think that both their designs are very, very cool. Especially Vespiquen. Vespiquen is one of my favorite Pokemon in this generation. I mean, I'm probably going to say that about a lot of Pokemon, but really it is. It has like attack order and defense order, something like that, right? And it just feels so cool. Like the Bee Queen and just giving orders to its minions to just destroy things. Very cool. I love his design. I love his concept. I love how you gotta put the honey on the tree and wait, and then the combi will come and you gotta catch it. And only like what the female one can evolve. Yeah. I mean, design wise, very, very cool. I don't remember how much I did use it, but I really, really wanted it. Because when I was that age, my parents bought me the Pokédex, right? And I saw that there was Vespiquen in the Pokédex, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch that. So I did everything I could to catch it. Can't remember if I used it, but I really love his design. Till today, I love his design. I don't really use it, but his design is really, really cool. Next, we have Pachirisu. Frankly, I'm not a fan of Pachirisu, but I gotta give the world champion Pokemon some, some love, some respect. I'll give it A tier, solid. I'm not really a big fan of Pachirisu. I mean, I know it's strong. Like, I think it's Fake Out, Nuzzle, a few moves. He has to win the world championship for some reason, right? But not a big fan, to be honest. It's pretty okay. I mean, yeah, that's all I can really say about it. But just because he won the world championships, I'll give it a solid A tier. And next we have Weezer and Floatzel, which is going S. Another iconic water Pokemon. Also, wait, another thing about Staraptor is the only fly Pokemon I use for this generation. I don't think I thought any other Pokemon fly But yeah, so that's why it's S as well. Same thing with Weasel here. Our good friend Floatzel new Surf Waterfall, and I can't remember if you needed Whirlpool, but all the water moves, just put it on Floatzel and it's good. So for that, it's gonna be S tier. Another iconic one. Again, I used it in the remake. Essentially, I'm looking at my remake team being S with so far Infernape, Staraptor, Luxray, Roserade, and Floatzel. I think the final Pokemon should be pretty obvious what it's gonna be. We'll get to that later, but so far, yeah, Floatzel has to be an S tier. I genuinely think that Staraptor, Luxray, and Floatzel are like the four like iconic quote unquote starter route Pokemon in Gen 4. So yeah, S tier I think is fair for all of them. Now we have Cherubi and Cherim, if I'm not wrong, it's called. Cherubi, this is Cherim, I think, and there's two forms. This form goes in B. I like its design. The other two, like Cherubi can go in B. I think it's kind of cute. But Cherim, I don't know what that is. Till today, I don't know what that is. I think it's so ugly. I'm sorry, like I genuinely just I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's just I don't know what it's trying to be. It's like trying to be like a flower or something. I don't know. But anyways, it goes in C. It doesn't get D tier status because it's two forms, right? It's two forms. So okay, fine. Fair game. Compared to these few, I don't know what they're trying to do with these, so they get D. Next we have the luxury replacement for my party eventually, which is Gastrodon and Shallows. Shallows gets B. I actually don't really like Shallows design. But Gastrodon, yeah, Gastrodon replaced Luxury in the end, in the final comp for the remake. So it gets S. But Gastrodon is till today one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot. The typing itself, water ground, I mean it's just like Swampert, right? It's very, very insane. But the thing is it has Storm Drain. So you just can't even hit it with water type moves. And it has a lot of coverage, it has recover. Insane. I remember that when I went on the Cynthia fight, I think Roserade died to something. I can't remember what it died to, but it got destroyed by something. And the Milotic came out, right? I had no answer to Milotic. So I had to use Gastrodon to recover to just stall out Milotic, and it was like a half an hour battle just sitting there stalling out the Milotic. Yeah, it's insane. But Gastrodon is really one of my favorite Pokemon. Even like nowadays in ROM hacks, there are situations which I use Gastrodon and just stall out the opponent like the Kingdom Come, and they just can't do anything. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Definitely a contender for Mount Rushmore. Now we have Ambipom. I don't know why that Pokemon needed a evolution. I can't remember its name, but it looks so weird. I don't know. I think it goes A. I guess it goes A. Like I'm not a big fan of the design, but I think it's fine. So it goes in A. I think this is fair. Nothing much else to say, but I know it's technician. One of the abilities that boosts like weaker moves, and he has like multi-hit moves, right? There was a set that he has like multi-hit moves, and it just like boosts the damage, and it does quite a decent amount, I guess. But yeah, nothing too much to say about it. I think it looks fine. Looks a bit wonky, but you know what? A tier is fine. Next, we have another one of my favorite Pokemons of all time, Drifloon and Drifblim. These two Pokemon frustrated me to no end, just because I couldn't catch it on Fridays if I'm not wrong at the windmill place, the windworks. Could only catch it on Fridays, and obviously I didn't know as a kid you could just change the time on the DS, so I would wait every week for Friday to catch Drifblim. And also, the first time I did it, I did not know you could reset. I didn't save, so I just went in. I didn't know about the reset, right? So I just went in. I accidentally defeated it, and I had to wait another week. But I think right now in my Pokemon home, I have like 3 or 4 Drifblooms, if I'm not wrong, because of the amount of times I caught it. Yeah, one of my favorite Pokemons. I think it's pretty cool, especially with it has Unburdened, it has Aftermath, and like Destiny Bond. Very cool Pokemon. I love it a lot. Now we have Buneri and Lopunny. Yeah, I'm not a furry, unfortunately. So objectively speaking, Lopunny just goes in like maybe A, and Buneri goes in B. I really don't like how it looks like. They both, I don't know, it kind of creeps me out. Now I think about it, Lopunny might even go in B. Okay, I like his design. Design is fine, but I don't know, there's something just off about Lopunny. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put it A tier for now though. Now we have Miss Magius. Okay, this is not one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, but I still go in S tier. because it's so cool. The first time I got a Mismagius, oh wait, it was the one that Fantima used that I challenged, and it like magical leaves and whatnot, and I was like, wow, this is a ghost wizard. I think that has to be worth something. Just for that, it goes to the S tier. I think its design is really, really cool. I like it a lot. So yeah, pretty cool Pokemon. They gave Mismagius a pretty cool evolution compared to MB Pom, whatever this is supposed to be. Actually, the more I think about it, MB Pom is going in B. But yeah, pretty cool. S tier. Honchkrow, solid B tier. Nothing much to say, just another bird. I honestly like Murkrow more than Honchkrow just because I used it for a bit for VGC. But yeah, I think B is fine. B is pretty cool. Now we have Glamel and Purgly. Um, Glamel is just a cat. It's going C tier. C for cat. Purgly is going B just because the one of the Team Galactic like admins had it right. It's like one of the early run killers you nuzlocke the game. I think that itself should be testament to how strong Purgly is. So for that, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Now we have another C tier. C for Chingling. I'm not a big fan of Chingling. I think my girlfriend is right now because she keeps like walking up to me and saying Chingling, Chingling. So maybe she's a Chingling fan. I don't know, but I really don't like Chingling. I mean, not don't like. I think it looks a bit weird. Its mouth like hole. It's supposed to be a bell, right? It looks a bit odd, but I don't hate it. It's fine. I'm not really gonna justify putting it any higher, but I think C is fair. Next, Stunky and Skuntank. Skunktank's going S. Another S tier Pokemon. I just realized the S tier looks ridiculous, but genuinely, there's so many Pokemon this generation that I just love. It has to go into S. Stunky, I don't really get Stunky because I like it. I get it for Skuntank, so Stunky goes in C. Pretty cool design. I kind of like it, and yeah, C tier. Next, we have Bronzor and Bronzong, and I'm sorry, it's another S tier. Bronzor goes into A tier because I have a memory. I don't actually remember which route it was. It's the raining route where the trainer had a Bronzor, and I had no way to counter steel types. I had no fire types on my team. It was like it was horrific. I don't actually remember what I had in my party, but I remember I got wiped by Bronzor struggling. It was crazy. I actually got wiped a full party, and I remember this was when I was a kid. So obviously my party was over leveled, right? And this Bronzor, not even Bronzor, this Bronzor wiped my entire party because I had no answer to the freaking Steel Psychic type. Yeah, I'm gonna put some respect on that and put it A. Alright, now we have a bunch of D tiers, finally. Except Bonzi goes to S. I think it looks pretty cool. It evolves into Sudowoodo. Pretty cute Pokemon. Compared to Mime Jr., whatever, this is. Happiny definitely goes in D. Another weird one. Chatter goes to A because it's funny. You could use I think Chatter. And you could scream into the DS, so you would hear people like shouting profanities and stuff. Actually, pretty funny. For that, it gets A. But yeah, these two go into D 100%. In no way. All right, now it's just gonna go back to S tier farming. I might have to lower. Okay, before that, I think we're gonna have to lower some of these. I think we have to do this. Wait, you know what? Just for this generation, we're adding A plus tier because S tier is looking genuinely too ridiculous, and I'm gonna have to shift some of these down. Like these, um, these, and these. Yeah, S tier looks a bit ridiculous, so I think I have to thin it out a bit. I don't think everything should be an S tier because Spiritomb is definitely gonna be S. Um, Before Fairy type, it had legitimately zero weakness. I think that's worth something. And I remember when Cynthia sent out Spiritomb, mentally for me, it was just like, okay, this ain't no way. It's like the beginning of a boss fight. You know that something's going up when she sends out a Pokemon with no weakness. Yeah, Spiritomb goes with S. I love his design. I never actually caught it in the game, or did in the remake I did. The original I didn't because it took so much effort. I didn't bother. But yeah, I think S is pretty good. Now we have, of course, another S tier pick, the Garchomp line. I was contemplating doing S plus. Okay, you know what? We are gonna do that. Like this generation, a bit insane. I know, but we will do an S plus tier. I changed this color. All right, so S plus tier. The starters are going S. Um, you know what? I'll keep the iconic Pokemon in S tier, But I will move up like these to S plus tier. The ones that I really love. Not just like, but love. Like these few. I think these few are fair to go into the S plus tier. Yep. I'm Bronzong. And then I think we can move Bronzor up to S tier. Maybe A tier. A plus, A plus. Okay, now this looks more balanced. Now I can finally sleep at night. Haha. But yeah. Garchomp, no explanation needed. Strongest Pokemon in this entire generation. I love it a lot. It looks insane. Incredible design. I'm very disappointed with Mega, but I think in ZA they released an alternate Mega or something, right? I haven't played ZA, but for record, I haven't played ZA yet. I hope to play it by next year. The channel does well, I'll buy a Switch and I can maybe play it, but I have not yet. So I don't really know. But Garchomp base, I love it a lot. It looks incredible. Now we have Munchlax. Honestly, like C. I think I gave Snorlax B or A in the other tier list. But I'll put it in C. I'm not a big fan. Riolu and Lucario. I'm gonna put Lucario in S and Riolu in A plus because when you get it in the game, you get it so early on, and it knows like false palm, right? It's incredible, insane. Lucario obviously are the best Pokemon of all time. I'm not gonna talk about its Mega too much because yeah, I'll talk about that when we get there. But Lucario, iconic Pokemon, and the fact you get it for free is pretty insane. So for that, S tier, very powerful as well. Now we have Hippotas and Hippowdon. Hippowdon's going in S plus. I love Hippowdon so much. Hippowdon looks so cool. I'm not really a big fan of hippos, but this sand hippo looks so insane that when I was a kid, I just loved it so much. I think S plus is fair, and I didn't even know that it had like different form between male and female. So the first time I saw a black Hippowdon, I genuinely thought that it was a shiny. Turns out it was just a female one. But yeah, love Hippowdon a lot. S plus tier. Now then, another one. We have Scorpy and Drapion. Drapion, S plus tier. Scorpy goes in A. Not really a big fan of Scorpy, but it is what it is. Drapion gets S plus because I didn't even know about this Pokemon's existence until I went to the Elite Four and Aaron sent it out. And when I realized that it's not weak to like fire type moves, I realized it's not a bug. It looks like a bug, but it's not. It's not a bug. It's not weak to fire types. And essentially just like I got wiped so many times by it. And I was like, wow, this Pokemon is so cool. But yeah. Drapion S plus. I love his design. I love what this Pokemon is. I've never actually used it for real, but design wise, to me it's iconic. I love it so much. Now Croagunk and Toxicroak goes to the S plus. Yeah, this is a bit insane. I'm glad I made the split because it's getting a bit ridiculous. Croagunk, I loved from the first time I saw like the whole poison jab thing, and I didn't even know it evolved into Toxicroak. But the first time I saw Toxicroak, I was like, wow, this guy evolves into this. Yeah, 10 out of 10. No other comment. 10 out of 10. S plus tier. I think I brought it to Crasher Awake if I'm not wrong, or did I get it after? But yeah, I think in my original poll, this did follow me to the Elite Four team, especially since it evolved Toxicroak. I was gonna bench it, but it evolved, and I was like, wow, the evolution looks so cool. So yeah, S plus. Next up is the greatest disappointment in all of Pokemon, Carnivine. Putting S tier because I love Venus Flytraps. I love his design so much. Even as a kid, I loved Carnivine so much because of it was Venus Flytrap. But it did my boy so dirty, man. It's so bad. Carnivine as a Pokemon is horrific. It doesn't do anything. But I love his design. And I did try to use it. But clearly, yeah, it didn't go too well for me using it. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like its power, but I love its design. So for that, I'll give it an honorary S tier. Alright, Finneon and Lumineon, C tier. I really don't have much to say, they're just fish. At least Mantike looks like a cute, like, Stingray or Manta Ray, so it gets B. But Lumineon and Finneon is just, meh, nothing much. Now we have Snova and Abomasnow. I think Snova goes into B. Abomasnow goes into A. I don't really like them too much. I mean, I did use them when I went to the ice place. But apart from that, I don't really like Abomasnow too much. I think the type nowadays, I think the typing is cool, but quadruple weakness to fire is kind of insane. So either way, I mean, I don't really have too much of an opinion of them, but I think it's pretty decent. So I'll put them in A. Weavile, I'll put it in A too. Not a big fan of Weavile, big fan of Sneasler though, but we'll talk about that when it comes. For now, I think Weavile being A is fair. Design wise, pretty decent, and yeah, I mean, decent here. I'm not gonna put it all the way up, but decent here. Next we have Magnezones going S. Magnezone is another iconic Pokemon. When I saw that Magneton and Magnemite finally have a final evolution of Magnezone, I thought it looked really cool. And even though I didn't really use it too much in the game, I use it a lot now in Pokemon Pocket. The Magnezone or the Corridor deck is my favorite deck of all time. So I think ST is fair. I love its design. And whenever I see it in the game, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, design wise and considering I use it in Pocket game, it gets S tier. Now we have Licky Licky, D. I'm sorry. Licky Tongue to me look weird, and now Licky Licky looks even worse. Goes to D. We have another S plus Pokemon here, Rhyperior. Rhyperior I did use. I can't remember if it was a trade evolution, but I remember I did have a Rhyperior. I traded with my cousin or something. And Rhyperior is one of my favorite Pokemons to today. Very happy that in Sword and Shield it had the weakness policy set. It was incredible. I was incredibly happy then just because Rhyperior looks so cool. I like how it's just like I thought Rhydon was cool to begin with, right? And then they introduced Rhyperior. It's literally superior Rhydon. That's what it means, right? Superior is like superior, right? Obviously Rhydon, superior Rhydon, right? Or Rhydon superior. Either way, very cool. Design wise, it's cool, very powerful. Pretty sure I brought it to the Elite Four the first time I got there in the original playthrough. So yeah, S tier. I love Rhyperior a lot. Next, we have Tangrowth. Tangrowth gets a C. I'm not really a big fan of Tangela, so Tangrowth is a bigger version, it gets a C. Compared to Electivire and Magmota, which are going straight into S+. I was like midly okay with the way Electabuzz and Magma looked. Not really a fan. I can't remember why I tiered them at. But these two, when they came out, I was like, wow. They look incredible. And I'm pretty sure they are trade evolutions, but I got my cousin to trade with me, so I had both of them, and like, wow. I mean, design-wise, these two look insane. I mean, a bit sad how like they're not that strong, but I love their design even till today in some ROM hacks that like buff them, right? I do use them a lot. I really like the design. Iconic. And the fact that Electabuzz and Magma. Electabuzz and Magma. I don't know why that was so difficult, but they got an evolution. Insane. I love it a lot. Now we have Togekiss. You know, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Yanmega's going in C. I don't like how it looks like. It's just a very big dragonfly. Okay, Togekiss goes into S. Togekiss, I think, nowadays has cemented itself as one of the most like iconic Pokemon as well. Nobody really like remembers the days that Togekiss didn't exist, as far as I know, especially for the newer Pokemon fans. But when Togekiss came out, I was like, I don't really like it, meh. And then I realized they had Super Luck, and I used it in a few battles in Sword and Shield, and it just started critting everything. So yeah, good memories, nice crits. For that, solid S tier. I mean, I think his design is pretty funny as well. Yeah, like it quite a bit. Alright, next we have both the evolutions. Eeveelutions is just gonna go in S. I think all the evolutions are iconic. Both of them in particular I haven't used too much, but they are quite iconic, and especially in games where there is evolution, sometimes I do like to try them all out. And these two, I mean, pretty iconic nowadays. I remember back then I was like, wait, they're adding new EV evolutions. That's insane. But nowadays it's like I think everyone has just accepted that this is that many. They might add a new one like here and there or whatever. But these two back then, I thought they were pretty cool, especially Leafeon. I don't know what they were trying to go for it, but I didn't really like Glaceon as a kid. I preferred Leafeon more. But nowadays, I'm leaning more towards Leafeon than Glaceon, to be honest. But honestly, they both look pretty cool. So I think S tier is fair. Just like Gliscor and Mamoswine. Both of them also S tiers. Ground type, ground flying. That one's ice ground. Very cool. Mamoswine is very powerful. It's like thick, fat, oblivious, extremely strong Pokemon. Gliscor, I love his design. I remember the anime when Ash got a Gliscor. I was like, wow, that's incredible. I actually got really hyped, very excited over it. So yeah, nothing much to say about that. I think design wise and Mammoth's fine more for its strength as well, but design wise, both of them look incredible. Not S plus tier. I don't like it to that much, but I think good enough. S tier. Alright, looking at the rest of the Pokemon, yeah, tier list is gonna be very top heavy by this, by this. Like Porygon Z, it's going to S. Yeah, I love all Porygon evolutions. This guy in particular looks insane. Um, yeah, nothing else to really say. I just love Porygon. S tier. Now we have Galate, another S tier. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'll put Nose Pass in C, just to put the bottom, like, to increase the size of the bottom a bit more. But yeah, Nose Pass goes in C. Galate goes into S. I love Galate a lot, and I really didn't think that. I mean, Gardevoir is like the go-to evolution, right, for most of the time, and Galate didn't really see that much play. But as of recent, if I'm not wrong, like there's a Trick Room set going around with Galate inside, and when I started to see that the Galate has like I don't know if it's a resurgence. No, I didn't really follow Galate's, um, competitive field or competitiveness. But looking that Galate is a viable Pokemon nowadays, I mean, it makes me really happy. I love his design a lot. I like how Gardevoir is like this graceful, like fairy that can use like Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, and whatnot. And Galate comes in like just punches things. Yeah, very cool. A fair S tier. Next, with another S plus tier, Dusknoir. Dusknoir's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, till today. Dusclops was one of my favorites, and then he got an evolution. So obviously, I'll rank the evolution as S plus. Incredible, I love it a lot. Design wise, very very cool. Of course, Dusclops has more use than Dusknoir because of the Eeveelutions, and it's a very strong Trick Room setter. But I don't know, man. My boy Dusknoir, come on, they need to buff it or something. It's so cool. I love how it looks like. In fact, the day I just pulled a Dusknoir card. Yeah, I love it a lot. Dusknoir is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Next, we have another ghost type that I can't really say the same. Frostlass. I don't really like its design, to be honest. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. So I'm just gonna put it probably in C. B. I have used it before, like Destiny Bond stuff, but not a fan. I really don't like how it looks like. The sound it makes is weird. I'm sorry, nah. Ain't no way. Alright, now all the Rotom forms. Alright. Rotom itself gets A plus because I think it looks really cool. And the fact it has many forms is a pretty cool thing. But not all forms are made equal. For example, Wash gets A plus. I think Wash is my favorite form, followed by Fridge, which gets A plus as well. No, Fridge gets A. The Oven form gets A plus. The Fan gets B, and the Motor gets B as well. The Grass Cutter gets B. Yeah, I'm ranking them purely based on design, but at the same time, not really because the Wash got like some competitive use, right, and I love how it looks. So A plus. The Oven, I always thought it's really funny, even as a kid. I like using Overheat on it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, A plus. The Fridge, I don't remember much, but I remember when I did use it, and it's like freeze dry, freeze dry, freeze dry. Yeah. Also, when I was a kid, I remember that the Rotom place is like in this like freezer, right? Or this storehouse thing, and you can like go change forms. I just stood there for like 15 minutes changing forms because it was so cool that a Pokemon could just change forms. Yeah. Either way, I love Rotom a lot. I mean, this being B, I really don't like how these two look. If there was the Rotom Pokédex, which is obviously not a Pokemon you can use, I'll put it an S plus. But yeah, very cool Pokemon Rotom. Very funny how they're still using it till today. Alright, now highly controversial opinion. The three leg guardians are going straight to C. Yeah, Yuxi, Mesprit, and Asleaf. Yeah, C. I really don't like the designs. Frankly speaking, when I first saw them, I really thought they were let down. Asleaf has like Azelf has like a nasty plot set, right? I guess, but I really don't like them. Not really usable. If I do any like randomized runs and I see them, I want to cry. It's like, oh, such a letdown. I get their law that there's like the Gardens of the Lake, yeah, Gardens of the Lake might as well be honestly how strong they are. The Guardians of the Lake, but I mean, super underwhelming, man. I really don't like them. C tier. All right, now it's time to get all the S tiers out of the way. Dalga Palkia obviously goes straight into S plus. Arguably goes into God tier. You know what? I mean, we have to God of Time, God of Space. They go into God tier. Very very powerful. I love both of them equally. Incredible Pokemon. Actually, no, I can't. It's not fair, right? It's simply not fair considering Arceus is going to be there, but I'll put him as fast, fine. Palkia, funny story. I didn't know you're supposed to catch a legendary Pokemon because when I played through Ruby, which is the game I played before this, maybe Emerald, I didn't even know about Rayquaza and Groudon, so I didn't really catch them. I remember when I went to my cousin's house, they had Groudon and Kyogre, and I was wondering how they got them. But I didn't know you're supposed to catch it, so I decimated. Palkia didn't live another day, let's just put it that way. And it's only years later when I realized that you're supposed to catch it that I beat Cynthia a second time to catch Palkia. And I was wholly underwhelmed because the spatial run wasn't that insane, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I always preferred Dalga's design, but because I was always a Pearl guy, I always played with Palkia. So yeah, Dalga is cool. I think Raw of Time. Like the first time my cousin showed me Raw of Time, I was like, wow, that's insane. Raw of Time. What a name. Insane. Yeah, I always love Dalga. We don't talk about the origin forms, by the way. When we talk about Legends Arceus, we're gonna have to get into the origin forms. We don't talk about that. They look weird. So weird. But base Palkia, base Dalga, insane. Next we have Heatran. Heatran goes to S. S plus. I didn't know Heatran was in the game. Heatran was like one of those Pokemon I just ran into randomly. And I think I used my first Master Ball on Heatran because, Palkia wasn't really alive anymore. But I ran into it randomly, and yeah, I remember that I started spamming Lava Plume and it destroyed everything. If I'm not wrong, Heatran is the reason I beat Cynthia, or the second time. I can't really remember too well, but yeah, I love Heatran a lot. Very cool Pokemon. Glad he got Mega, by the way. Really happy about that. Looked a bit weird, but it is what it is. Alright, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I think this goes to Mount Rushmore. Regigigas. I love Regigigas so much. It's kind of interesting that he has slow start, right? Like the first 5 turns and speed is half, but it's so powerful when it works. It's such strong, it's such high attack stat. If I'm not wrong, it's 160 or something. It's so powerful just that he has slow start. But yeah, I love it a lot. If I'm not wrong, Wolfie tried to use it before, and I'm pretty sure I was really happy when I saw that back in the day. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Greatest Pokemon of all time. Alright, next is another Mount Rushmore Pokemon. It's gonna be 5 Pokemon on Mount Rushmore, but basically these are two different forms. But I love Giratina so much. Giratina is such an insane looking Pokemon. The devil himself, basically. Insane. I love Giratina a lot. Giratina also has suffered the same fate as Palkia. I went through the ruins like 50 years. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know the directions. So I just kept going straight. Eventually I found Giratina. When I found him, I was like, oh, it's a boss battle. Yeah, he didn't live another day, let's put it that way. I think I said this story in the previous tier list about me having my level 100 Golduck. Yeah, it came with me to Pearl. And let's just say that Giratina did not appreciate the level 100 Golduck using Surf on it. Yeah. But design-wise, it's so cool. I love it so much, even till today. My girlfriend's collecting Giratina cards, by the way, and because the first deck I built for her in Pocket was Giratina Darkrai. She doesn't really play Pokemon a lot. She started getting into it recently. She doesn't play any of the games, but the first deck I got made for was the Giratina Darkrai deck, and she's collecting Giratina and Darkrai cards, which I'm very happy because I love Giratina, I love Darkrai. Yeah, and talking about that, I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Gonna rip it hard. Darkrai is going straight into. Oh, whoops, sorry. They made the move shallows, but Darkrai is going straight into Mount Rushmore. Darkrai is insane. I've been playing it on Pokemon Showdown like the past 3 days. I've been using Sableye to use Gravity with Prankster, right? And Darkrai Dark Voice, everything goes to sleep. Insane. Darkrai is genuinely one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. The concept of Dark Void is so cool to me that this Eater of Dreams comes in, everything just goes to sleep and just does insane damage. I can't fathom that. And also it's pretty funny that Smeargle got Dark Void and they had to nerf it, yeah. But anyways, insane. I love Darkrai so much. I think it is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, apart from one which I'll mention probably the next tier list. But top two. In terms of mythical Pokemon, definitely at the top. Conceptually, with Dark Void, yeah, I cannot. The idea of putting everything to sleep and eating his dreams is insane. I can't get that out of my head. I love Darkrai so much. It's so edgy, but I love it. Mount Rushmore, 100%. Alright, Cresselia. Cresselia goes into S+. Finally, a non-Mount Rushmore Pokemon. Yep. Oh no, did it disappear? Oh no. Okay, I might be blind, but I can't see Crystella anymore. I don't know if I just removed it or something. Um, alright. It's gonna. Oh, it's here, it's here. Sorry, I didn't see it. But Crystella goes to S plus. Crystella is very cool. It's one of the tankiest Pokemon of all time. Now, newer generations, they gave it like Lumina Crash, right? Incredible Pokemon. I like it a lot. Oh, Luna's Blessing. They gave the signature healing move like Luna Blessing or something. Incredibly tanky, incredibly strong in Trick Room. Um, I liked it a lot. I tried to use it like a year back or something on Pokemon Showdown to try to like do some Trick Room strats, but didn't really work out too well. But overall, I love his design. This is the second Pokemon I caught after Heatran. It's quite funny they're beside each other. But after I caught Heatran, I found Cresselia and I caught it too. You know, I didn't want to just decimate it. Also, Cresselia is the first Pokemon I ever shiny hunted in Auras, so that has to be worth something. It took like 120 tries, but yeah, I do have a shiny Cresselia somewhere in Pokemon Home if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Cresselia gets S plus. All right, Fiona and Menifee. I really want to put them in D tier. I don't know what the point of these two Pokemon are, but oh lord, yeah, I'll put them in C. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put Fiona in D. Manaphy I can accept. Fiona, what's the point of this Pokemon? Like genuinely, what's the point? Like D tier. I'm not even gonna bother with this. Straight to D. Yeah, goodbye. And now we have both the Shaman forms. They get B. So you might be wondering, why am I like, so biased that all these weird looking ones get C and D, but Shaman gets a pass for B? Shaman got released like after the game came out, right? It was a special event or something. And I was like hyped when I was a kid because I'm like, wait, this thing is coming, this Shaman thing. And I thought it was really strong. And there were Pokédex books at that time that didn't have Shaman in it because it just came out. And so of course I had a few of these Pokédex books and I'll look at them every day. And one day, like I can't remember, was it my cousin or someone told me about Shaman, and I was like, oh, wait, this is incredible. I've never heard of Shaman before. What is this? And Shaman came out. I mean, obviously, it's not that good, but yeah, I mean, I guess for that core memory alone, I will give it B. And nowadays, I don't like its design too much. I used it in Pokemon Pocket, I guess, if that's worth something, but not even because I liked it, but because it was like semi decent. So yeah, I think B is fair. Last but not least, we have the only Pokemon that can contest Bidoof himself, the god of all Pokemon, Arceus. Arceus, very strange. Um, I never really liked the fact he can only hold one plate, but in the movie, brother was changing types, like, he was changing underwear. He just went in and out, changing types, just boom. It was insane. I don't even know what that was, but I really tried to do that in the game. I really wanted that to be in the game, but no, you can only choose one plate at once. Very, very sad. Anyways, Arceus goes to God tier, obviously. I love it a lot. And I especially like how I think in the new competitive format, at least on Showdown, where Arceus is kind of legal, there's a Swords Dance Extreme Speed Arceus set. Terra Normal Swords Dance Extreme Speed. It just destroys everything. It's so funny. But yeah, I love Arceus a lot. Anyways, on that note, here's the very, very large Gen 5 tier list. I don't know if this is gonna fit in one screen. Hopefully it does. Here it is. Um, yeah, insane. Oh yeah, this is the first tier list video I have 0 cuts. Yay, good job me. Yep, here's the very big Gen 5 tier list. Absolute 10 out of 10. One of my favorite generations. Definitely a generation of all time. So yeah. Alright, if you all enjoyed watching the video, please, do the usual, like, subscribe, share. Really helps a lot. I'm going to be focusing a bit on shorts in the next few weeks, so we'll see what happens, but I definitely want to finish up to Gen 9 before Gen 10 comes out next year, maybe. We'll see. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and have a great day ahead. Thank you for watching.